another episode of OGTV here at Champ's Social Lounge. And today I have my lovely guest, Marcy from Gemstonez.
Thank you. Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good today. Thank you. I appreciate you having me in here to chat a little.
Definitely. We were just talking about how we've known each other for about like a year now.
About a year.
So I definitely want to know more about your product. I've seen you at so many events, but so what products do you do?
Well, I started out making hard candies and tinctures, and just then from then I started researching more, and it's been about almost going into my fourth year now. Started researching about what you can do with other uses of cannabis, and I saw that topicals was a new thing. People, I mean, years ago, everybody's always known soaking stems and stuff in alcohol, that putting it on topically, that there was some relief from it, but actually making a prepared topical was a relatively new thing in the last 20 years, that people are actually making actual lotions and creams and balms. So that research led me down that path, because I have need for it for myself from having lots of injuries as through sports as a kid, and I've been medicating, and like I was saying, is into my 40th year this year. Halloween this year will be my 40th year as a consumer, and when I would have foot surgeries and stuff, and they give you these pills, I would just rather go to hang out with my friends and smoke, because I would get more relief, and the pills would hurt my stomach, or just cause.
There's always so many different things, like side effects that happen when taking pharmaceuticals.
And I'm just not, my chemistry is not pharmaceutically inclined. It just does not do well on prepared pharmaceuticals. But cannabis has been remarkable, and so I just started researching and doing more investigation on that, and made a pain reliever for myself. My daughter has eczema, because the skin is the largest organ, and it has so many opportunities for failure. And eczema is just a broad term for skin irritation with no specific diagnosis, and so I formulated her this balm that helped with her eczema, and there's no way I would put a dangerous chemical or something harmful on my own child, so I felt very comfortable in formulating topicals to help with moisturization and skin healing and pain relief, and that's just led on to a growing line, where some companies, some topical lines that are out now, they just have one or two general products with different strengths. I've kind of more specified what my line does, because I found that I have a really small container here of a cream that's like a natural Neosporin. It's great for burns, like dab burns, and it's a very inexpensive product, because you don't necessarily.
Like Neosporin is like.
It's petroleum based, and
so much though.
And it's just not necessarily, you don't necessarily need a $60 fix for a $15 problem, and so I kind of specified some of my products along those lines to be more specific in what they do, and then of course then you have the heavy hitters for pain relief and that sort of thing, and then branching off into the world of CBD, that's
huge world.
2016, those three letters became synonymous with healing and health, and
it's still so. A lot of people don't know the benefits of it.
It's a neuroprotectant, and it's an anti-inflammatory, and there's no psychoactivity. And it's what little research has been done in cannabis is seeing that we have the receptors in our bodies, and if you have a spine, your body has those receptors. So that's leading to more and more broad uses of it. For example, I've added pet treats, because now cats, dogs, birds, reptiles, they can all benefit from the intake of CBD, and in small, very small doses THC, depending on the condition.
Because I remember one time, like I used to have a Pomeranian, and he got into like some edibles of mine, and they were very strong THC. He started freaking out, and I started freaking out and didn't know, and then I started hearing about pet products for pets, and it kind of got me scared, because I was afraid like my dog now would react the same way, but I actually gave her some of your pet treats, and she definitely calmed down a lot. She's a puppy, so she's very like all over the place. She has super bad anxiety.
Puppies are a bundle of energy. Yeah, the tiny little bit of research on animals has shown that dogs have very sticky receptors. So when they receive even a small amount of THC, it can be an extremely loud experience for them. And just like people have paranoia with too much THC intake. Animals have the same experience. So if you have a dog that gets into a human dosed edible, you're setting your puppy down a horrible path. But the wonderful thing about CBD is you can help counteract that, and I do that a lot of times at the events that I do with especially when it's in an indoor space.
Getting contact high, you've been smoking and dabbing all day, everyone's offering you stuff, and it's hard to say no a lot of the times.
It's hard to. Well, that in the confined space, the smoke just stays there, and these people are dragging their poor pets through there, and these dogs are just so faded. And so I keep the treats on my booth, and I'm giving them out all day long to help counteract that THC that those dogs are intaking in massive doses, because I don't like it.
No,
I can't imagine. I can't imagine those poor puppies and how they do that. But it's just a learning path.
Mm-hmm, definitely. As with anything, isn't it? Growing any business, it's learning what works, what doesn't work. Now, about how many different products do you have? Because I see so many different items here.
I have about 15 to 18 products and growing. Most are a THC product. I do have CBD pain relievers, balms, tinctures, hard candy. The pet products are CBD, and any of the THC products that you currently see will also be formulated in the near future here as straight CBD also. So I can fully maximize my website. I have a website that you can order, join the collective, order products. CBD is shippable. And we want to make sure that people can have access to the medication as long as we're able to provide it.
Without a doubt. I mean, it's so hard with some of these states where it's completely illegal to get anything THC related, and they're stuck on these, like, trying to go black market style, whereas in California, Colorado, all these other states that have become either recreational or medical and have easily access to it.
Yeah, there's easy access for it, but as the CBD market grows, I mean, you can buy CBD on Amazon, you can buy it at vitamin stores and that sort of thing. Oh, and people, it's 3 letters, CBD, not CBDs. There's no D's, it's just CBD. And I hear people at events, and it gives me a little chuckle. Oh, look, CBDs, and it's like,
come on.
no, it's just the 3 letters, strictly CBD. And but that's just it. It's strictly an educational shortage. People, at least there's interest there. They're curious, and I prefer people know exactly what it is that they're asking for, and be able to get the right thing. So yes, CBD and not CBDs.
No, I do have a lot of questions that I get asked, like as being somebody who knows a lot about cannabis and everything. Maybe you can explain it a little better so that any way that somebody's watching, that way they can understand topicals a little bit better. I've had people ask me, like, do topicals get you high because, like, they're going into your skin? Do you feel high if you're putting, like, a THC topical on your skin?
Well, in my experience, the topicals that I make and the ones that I've come across that are reputable companies, you're not going to experience psychoactivity in a prepared formulation. Now, the cannabis concentrate that goes into that, by all means, you're going to, if you leave that on the skin, it's going to be concentrated enough. Then to cause psychoactivity, that's why I have to wear gloves, obviously, when I make it. Because you would be able to experience psychoactivity with that. But on the prepared topicals, it doesn't cross the blood barrier. They're not strong enough to cause the psychoactivity, or even testing positive in drug tests. The only one that I would say that I would stay away from if you're worried about testing positive on a drug test is my lube. And the reason being because the mucous membranes inside the vagina and the going up the urethra of the penis, it has the opportunity to cross the blood barrier there, and that you could possibly not only test positive but experience psychoactivity. But other than that, no, topicals don't generally cause that reaction at all. They go to the different receptors. CB1 causes the psychoactivity. CB2, you get the anti-inflammatory, the neuroprotectant, the pain relief, the antispasmodic, that sort of benefit from them, and that's what topicals are geared towards reaching.
Now, touching on the lube and everything, that is definitely something that's a little bit newer to the market, especially in the cannabis world. Maybe you can explain the benefits of it and
There are several on the market. Some are just a straight coconut oil with THC added. Others have other elements added to them for glide and that sort of thing. I add essential oils to mine that give you a warming and a cooling sensation, some aphrodisiac effects, makes it very edible and enjoyable. With the cannabis, you get an increased blood flow. I've had some interesting feedback, to say the least. Yeah, I've had a gentleman express his virility in a very firm manner, and I've had some 420 nurses express their playfulness with their boyfriends online. So, and things in between. So yeah, I've had good results. I sent it out for testing amongst friends and families, and I had it, 16-year-old boys, and 70-year-old widows, and everything in between, couples and singles, and you don't have to have a couple to experience pleasure, and the lube just enhances that.
And I've heard some things like recently about and I don't know, maybe you know some more about this, but does cannabis help with fertility or anything like that too as well?
I'm not sure if it helps with fertility. I haven't read anything on that to have any firm answer on that. But I would imagine CBD could possibly help, because if there's reasons why that there is blockages or something like that, an inflammatory response, then of course CBD being a super anti-inflammatory can help reduce that. That could possibly help achieve a pregnancy that was otherwise not. But I haven't personally read any studies on that at this time. But that would be an interesting thing to.
Especially for that line. Great. And then you have tinctures as well. What are those good for?
Tinctures are good for the indicas and sativas are good for medicating, achieving psychoactivity without smoking.
So healthier.
If you don't want to smoke, and tinctures more replicate smoking, more so than say eating an edible, a cookie that you have to wait for a longer period of time for that edible to kick in, and usually they're.
These aren't as intense as
these are not as intense, correct, and they're real good for people, the indica in particular, for people with insomnia or that wake up in the middle of the night and have trouble going back to sleep. They just take a shot of tincture. You don't even have to get out of bed. You just shot a tincture under your tongue, and goes back to sleep.
Now, what's the reasoning for putting it under your tongue rather than just being able to swallow it?
The mucous membranes of the tongue there are thinner, and you get the more rapid absorption.
Okay.
More so when you swallow it, you're gonna have to wait, a little bit longer for it to process, more like in line with an edible. So it's best to hold it under your tongue, and at least in the mouth for as long as possible, because the thinner wall, the thinner wall mucous membrane.
So you do a lot of cannabis events.
I do a lot of cannabis area.
How did you get into doing the events?
Well, when I first, like I said, I was doing this for about 3.5 years, part-time, still working a day job in corporate America, raising my kids, that sort of thing, and I got downsized like a lot of people. Business that I was working for was suffering, and I got downsized. So I took the leap a year ago, January, and entered the High Times Cannabis Cup with my paintball treated. And I got lucky and made some phone calls, connections. I was able to get a piece of a booth that afforded me the space. And
sometimes these booths can get expensive for one space.
Yeah, it's really expensive, especially when you're a topical brand. Topicals are less than 10% of the cannabis space. So we're not out there balling like these wax extractors, blowing out all that. It's not the same kind of market. But I did that. I entered the treated, and when they came time to announce, it never occurred to me that I wouldn't win first place. I was kind of angry. I was like, what do you mean I got third? I'm like, what?
How did that happen?
I was excited, but I was at the same time I was like, wait a minute. But then I found out, Harborside Health, that giant, he got first place. Oh, and Buds and Roses, that wonderful guy. Oh, okay. Then thank you. I totally appreciate my third place.
Because at least you placed too.
It was so, it was incredibly exciting to be able to say, wow, something that I did actually worked. It was verified and confirmed. But with that, then made me realize that it was time to step up my game on my packaging because I'd been doing that myself. And so then I stopped sales and hired a firm, a young man that actually was repping a company in the same booth space, and he came up with this look. I love it, and
It's very discreet, very professional.
I'm excited with the way I love the way that look is I needed it to. The outside needed to look the way the inside was, and there's quality ingredients. I use good stuff. It's a nice product, and the outside needed to reflect.
And a lot of people don't think about the fact of like how much marketing and where you're putting your products in really does matter. Presentation is everything.
It makes a difference because I'm a consumer, and if I look at something on the shelf and it doesn't look right, I'm not gonna. There's 3 things on the shelf, 2 look good and 1 doesn't. That one is just. And that's how I was feeling like mine was looking. It's like, there's some other ones out there that, they've already stepped their game up. I need to do that. So I relaunched 420, and it made a huge difference. It definitely did exactly what it needs. So people out there, packaging matters. Make sure that you get your stuff on point. If you're still doing it yourself, step your game up if you want to be in
put
this.
in money to make money.
You gotta see what your ingredients are. I see all these labels that have the ingredients the way, and the people don't realize that the ingredients have to be listed in the order of the predominance in the product, and there is no way that you can put cannabis first because it's just not the first ingredient. It's just not, and putting love, on your label is great, but it's not an ingredient. It's not something that the FDA is going to be able to quantify.
Especially now with Prop 64 coming up with a lot more regulations, a lot of people need to understand how real packaging and real labeling
the legitimacy
and
behind it, you have to appear legitimate. You have to be legitimate.
Because now this is a legitimate business.
We've come out of the shadows. I love being a productive stoner. This is how I feel normal. I'm a little hyper, a lot hyper. I'm a little all over the place, but cannabis kind of centers me, helps me focus. I can't do sativas. I'm a rambling mess with sativa because it just plays into my,
It just adds to that.
But indica, I'm an indica person, and it does. It just kind of helps focus me. Obviously, I'm able to get some focus, or else I wouldn't have been able to be a productive stoner. We're not all lazy.
We have our lazy time.
Exactly.
It's when it's needed.
Exactly, but I also forget that not everybody's a productive stoner. Not everybody is able to function at the levels that some people do.
Not everybody's a productive individual either.
This is true. I'm really excited about what cannabis could bring to the market, and the fact that women are becoming dominant in this industry. I mean, it's a new industry, new opportunities, and the fact that women are able to choose that path and become an industry leader is exciting. It really is.
Definitely. I know when I first started, a lot of the women I saw were like working booths, or they weren't like the head of companies. And now I see more females heading companies. You can tell when a female's running a brand, it's a little bit more organized, rather than a male. Not to say men aren't organized. It's just we have our own little flair things.
This is true. Well, and I've also noticed too, you can tell when somebody comes from corporate America or college into cannabis versus high school into cannabis. It's like they go from being a high school weed dealer to a grown-up weed dealer, and there's a place for that, but not in professional cannabis.
No,
and professional cannabis is the future. And if you want to be in the future and be a player in that, you have to come on board and step up.
I think that's why so many people got a little upset about Prop 64 passing, because they were afraid of leaving their old ways behind and changing things, which obviously change is scary and whatnot, but if you really want to take this seriously and pay taxes, make real money,
I just filed 3 returns. I filed a federal return even though cannabis doesn't want my money. The Fed doesn't want my money. I still filed the return because I have to show returns in order to be compliant to get a license. But there's no set up framework for that. in the Fed because it's still federally illegal. But you need to get a cannabis accountant and do the right things. You need to have insurance. Product liability insurance is important. There's certain things we complain about as humans. We complain about our society and how we've lost hometown America and small town America and how the corporate America has taken over. But at the same time, we expect that consistency. We expect that through everything that we want that now. Now that corporate America has shown there's this model that the Big Mac is the same as it is in California, as it is in Indiana, as it is in New York, as it is in Sydney, Australia. We complain about it, yet we demand it. And cannabis is in the same.
It's not the same.
Cannabis is in the same position. We complain about the regulations, yet you have people come through the door and go, "Look at this! It wasn't any good." Well, you can't have both. You have to step up and say, "Okay, I'm open. I'm above board, and this is what I'm doing. I'm a player. Be along with that." So it's exciting.
Definitely. Now, what was your first experience with cannabis smoking? Let's hear it.
Okay, I'm not gonna like this again because it's kind of hilarious. It was Thanksgiving. It was right before Halloween, and my neighbor, her parents were smokers, and
How old were you?
I was 13, and we were gonna go to. It was a department store that had closed, so they turned it into a haunted house, and it was the first time we were gonna get to do something like this. And I remember sitting in her room waiting, and it was my two friends, and her mom comes in, and she had 2 magazines in one hand and a bong in the other. It was this green ceramic bong that had the little filtrate with some buds in it. I just remember it was just like with those magazines, they were relatively new publications, only been on the market 2 or 3 years. One was High Times, the other was Playgirl. I know. So that night, I smoked marijuana and looked at a High Times and a Playgirl and thought, weed and wieners? Are you kidding me? Hell yeah! And I never looked back. Weed and wieners all the way. So yeah, that was my first experience, and the only time I've ever been busted is by my parents. I've never been caught by the cops. I've always been on the down low and respectful that way, but a closet smoker until last year. People didn't know.
Really?
People did not know. I was a PTA, ran the reading programs for the elementary schools, and I'm a closet pothead. Oh yeah, big time, big time.
So funny.
I love not being in the closet anymore.
It's so much easier to just.
My perfume bill is so high all the time. I don't buy perfume anymore. I just smell dank all the time.
That's how it should be.
Right?
Did you get high smoking your first time? For me, it took me like 3 times.
I was
to even,
really
feel
high,
it.
and I remember going through this haunted house. There was actually a third person there. She was a Girl Scout until she was 18.
Oh.
Yeah, and this girl, I still feel her chin on my shoulder. She screamed the entire time through this haunted house because she was so high, she wet her pants.
No.
But I was so high, these things are jumping out at me, and I'm just all blowing raspberries at them because I was so high. They weren't scaring me, they were making me
Which is
laugh.
funny.
And she was screaming and wet her pants.
It's so crazy the difference of how cannabis can affect people in
Oh
different
yeah,
ways.
I just felt normal. I was like, wow, okay, I feel normal. It's like, yeah, that was really funny. I know you're not scary. Well, she was freaked the fuck out.
I mean, so much so that she ran.
So much so, yeah, because we had to run into the other part of the mall that had another store so she could try and get some paper towels. She was wearing light blue dittos.
Oh, God.
Yeah, back in the 70s, the dittos. Yeah, it showed. It was bad. Sorry, Susie. That was her name.
Throwing her out there.
I didn't give her last name. Didn't give her last name.
True.
Susie, but she was a Girl Scout till she was 18. You figure it out.
So, how does cannabis help you, and what is your favorite product to use?
I'm a flower girl through and through. I don't do concentrates. Edibles make me feel car sick. I love topicals. I've got this bum foot. I get our sciatic pain. I love my pain relieving sticks for that. The tinctures I use, like I said, wake up in the middle of the night, like that on the nightstand. My pets are just raging on the CBD. My lab's getting older, so she's having a harder but, you know, that's, yeah, I love all the products. I don't use all of them every single day, but I think the Helix should be next to every heat source because it's a great,
We all know we
because it's a
burned
great
ourselves
burn,
once or
yeah,
twice.
it's a great burn reliever. Yeah.
Now, what do you love about the California cannabis industry? I don't know if you've been to like either Colorado or Michigan.
I have not been a Canada tourist yet. I haven't even been to Vegas.
No.
I'm just not Vegas friendly.
I love Vegas. I don't drink, I don't party or anything, but I love Vegas.
I need to get back into it. Like I said, 25 years raising family, you know, it's just, we'd go to Hawaii and do all the party, you know, kind of atmospheres, and so I'm kind of looking forward to hitting some of the Vegas shops. I'd love to get to Colorado, after, you know, growing up on CD brick weed, you know, the terrible coughing up just yuck, and being thankful to even get that CD brick weed. Yeah, I'm a top shelf snob. I love responsible growers. I'm smoking Be Real's Red October. I love this stuff, Be Real. Oh my God, thank you for being a responsible grower. This stuff is tasty. But there are some others that are pushing weight just for the sake of weight.
Oh yeah.
And but I won't go there.
So what do you love about the California cannabis industry since you've been so big into it?
Well, I see that the ones that are it's growing. It's from when I started doing the candy and tinctures, well, I'll say 4 years ago now. In that 4 years, it's like light years ahead. I'm surprised at how rapidly the environment has changed. I can't even keep up completely with all the changes because I'm so busy myself trying to, you know, just pick it up and put it down every day. But yeah, it's light years ahead from when it started. Even like I said, just even in packaging, you can see the shops that are in business that want to stay in business are carrying brands that are responsible. You know, you're seeing less and less of the you know, cooking, taking some trim and making some brownies and putting it in, you know, wrapping it in, you know, and those all have, I mean, the industry started in, you know, somewhere, but we've definitely moved beyond that. And that's that corporate America demand that we love, you know, as consumers we demand, but then we complain about, oh, Walmart's taking away small town America. But they've also given you that comfort of consistency. If we can just get the happy medium, and I think actually cannabis might be able to do that and provide that happy medium by having products and companies that are in localities that don't become just global for the sake of becoming global. You know, it's like expansion for the sake of expansion isn't always good when you don't keep the same consistency and quality. So I think cannabis has an opportunity to maybe set a new standard or revisit the old standard, you know, when things lasted and were made well, you know, responsibility. So that's what I'm looking forward to, is more of that.
It will be nice. So what are your future plans for this year and for, I guess, next year too? Do you have any new products coming out or any events you'll be at?
I'm going to be at all the big events. Got High Times coming up in April. A great new session, the High Desert Hot Box is actually on 420. Then High Times, as well as that, One Chalice, One High Life. You know, yeah, can't wait for High Life. No, gotta be there. I love the fact that the lineup is more conducive usually to my taste in music, because I'm an old school hip hop and R&B fan, you know. But just looking forward to that. Product-wise, ever expanding, adding capsules. There'll be eventually I'll have a full-blown kitchen, edibles. But that's edibles are so flooded right now, and there's so many players that are doing a really good job that I'll just let them keep doing it until I actually secure licensing. That's my intention. Is I've got to find the place that'll let me play. I want to get a license to be, you know, a manufacturer. That's what the 18's bringing, and it's coming up rapidly.
It's
really
coming
fast.
up faster than I thought.
Yeah, here we are almost into April. I'm like, oh wow, okay. Time has flown.
Now tell people where they can find you, where they can find more of your products.
Well, of course, I'm here at Club 448 here next to Chance. You can also go on Weed Maps. I'm verified sellers and have gotten and more expanding on that. You can also go to my website, gemstones.org, and join the collective that way. I can accommodate you with your medicines that way until a shop near you has my product. Always on Instagram, if you see something you like and you want your local shop to carry it, tag them so I can get a hold of them, because there's just too many to be able to answer on a daily basis. Yeah,
There's so many out there
there's
now.
there's a lot of shops, and eventually I want to be in all of them. But just like a lot of brands, but I'll get there in time.
So you heard it here, and thank you so much for taking a second to come in
Yeah.
and talk to us. Let me know about your product. I mean, we've known each other for a year, and now I'm still learning on this whole side of things. And it's interesting to find out all the benefits and ways to intake cannabis, as I'm sure you guys are more than happy to know more knowledge on cannabis, because who doesn't need more knowledge? Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power, and the more I learn about cannabis, the less I know about cannabis. It's so scary. Who would have thought terps would have been so important? But if they weren't, there'd just be one strain.
True.
Just be weed, just flat weed. But
Can't have that.
no, but terpenes and all that, they're gonna play an important part of my topicals and new formulations moving forward that you'll be able to specify. But research, education, cannabis.
All right, well, thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you.
You're watching Angela Mazzanti and Gemstonez here at Champ Social Lounge.
Bye. Sweet.